Back to another Sunday night swatching. Tonight we'll be taking a look at my cupcake polish haul from the Polish and Beauty Expo this past July. I'm going to be a little bit of a quicker one tonight. I didn't get a whole lot from her table, but I'm of course very happy with what I did get. So let's go ahead and get into it. As per my usual, I will be starting off with the swag bag polish. So this was in the VIP bag. It's this beautiful purple with all that gorgeous shimmer. This is Summer in Chicago. And we'll go ahead and get our first coat on. Get right into it here. I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. And a wonderful couple weeks. I didn't get to see you guys last Sunday. Had a family thing going on. So I had an off week. But we're back at her this week. LJ Natural Nails is here. Hey, happy Sunday. She says, I finally made a live. You did. There you are. Thanks for popping on. Good to see you. There it is, one coat. This one is super pretty. I love this. And look at how opaque that is in just one coat. Very nice. Laura is here. Hey, Laura. Happy Sunday. Richard B. says, good evening. Good evening, Richard. Thanks for popping on. All right, next up, this was one of the 3 exclusives that they had. I did only get this one. Y'all know I am a sucker for blues. I believe the other was a red and then a yellow. This is Yes Chef. They were based on a show, I think. Her trio of exclusives. I'm not familiar with whatever show they were based on, but you know I had to get me the blue. And this one is gorgeous. I will definitely be trying to incorporate this one into some of my manis for my monsters, because this is right along the lines of their school color. All right, here is one coat of Yes Chef. Look at that beautiful shimmer in there. All right, moving along. Laura says the bear, I think. I've never heard of it. You could be right. I don't remember what they said the name of it was. But yeah, it wasn't one I'd ever heard of either. All right, moving along. Sorry, just had a tickle in my throat. I was trying to make sure it was gone. All right, so the rest of these are all just like random polishes from the different collections that she brought to PBE. I am going to assume that the vast majority, if not all of these, are available on her website, cupcakepolish.com. If any of these catch your eye, because these were not any exclusives. They were not, anything specifically for Polish and Beauty Expo. So if any of these next ones look pretty, make sure you go ahead and check them out at cupcakepolish.com. And we'll get right into it. This is Rose Soiree. I really love the rose gold flakies in here. This is one of the polishes that I am wearing tonight. This is 3 coats on my nails. I don't normally do 3 coats, but it is a little bit sheerer, and I just really wanted to build that base color up. So I did do 3 coats of this on my nail. And you can see it is a pretty sheer base. Got to let all those flakies shine through here. So here it is in one coat. It would be a beautiful topper. That is Rose Soiree. So did anybody do anything fun this weekend? We had our first marching band, official marching band show of the season. And then we also had our last marching band camp of the season, which is a little sad when it's the last camp. But everything gets crazy from here on out. Now we're into the shows, and I don't think we're doing as many as we did last year. I feel like there's less shows, but they just did their first one on Friday, the football game. They did the halftime show. They played their first 2 songs of the show. So it was really awesome to see. I love watching them do their thing. All right, next up here, this is Retro Romance. I am in love with the shimmers. And this is the second polish that I'm wearing. This is also 3 coats, because if I'm doing 3 coats on one color, I'm just doing 3 coats on everything. So we'll go ahead and get, oh, if my camera will focus, sorry about that. Go ahead and get our first coat on here. Again, this would also make a gorgeous topper. You could put this over pretty much anything, and it's going to look beautiful. Here we are, 1 coat of Retro Romance. And I really wish, the base is slightly pink. I know it's hard to tell. My camera does not like to pick up pinks. So it's really only showing the gold. But the base is slightly pink. Let me see if I play with some colors here, if I can get it to pick up more of the pink. Maybe the second coat I'll be able to. All right, well, there is 1 coat. So we'll circle back to that. Oop. Sorry, y'all, I'm throwing things around now. Okay. Look at this one, you guys. Oh, this is such a cool looking polish. I'm so excited to see this swatched. I almost wanted to make this one my Manny, but this is Woodland Wonder. Go ahead and see how this looks on our first coat. Here it is in 1. This is Woodland Wonder. If my camera would stay focused, work with me, phone. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm missing comments or anything. Nobody did anything fun this weekend? Nothing exciting to report? All right, 1 coat, Woodland Wonder. Moving along. All right, so here's this really pretty gray base, and then it's got this silver and blue glitters in there. This is Plastic Fantastic. And if you follow my Instagram, you will see I did wear this in a mani last weekend. So I did post that picture. And I did post the video of doing the mani here on YouTube. So you can go check out my shorts videos and you'll see that. But this was my base color for the Celebration of Life mani that I did last weekend. Laura says, I'm baking bread for Jenny. All I did was clean and bake. Well, I mean, I guess that could be exciting. You enjoy baking, so that's exciting. We'll take that. This one is so pretty. I love this one. LJ Natural Nails says, today is my wedding anniversary, so we went out to eat last night. Oh, happy anniversary. That's awesome. How many years for you guys? Richard says, birthday dinner for a family member, grocery shopping, and a vet appointment for a sick kitty. Okay, well, you had me up until the vet appointment for the sick kitty. I hope sick kitty is on the mend. Birthday dinners are good. Grocery shopping is okay. It is what it is. Yeah, I don't like the sick kitty. Oh. All right, this one, another super cool one. I'm noticing she is really good about shimmers. So I don't have a whole lot of cupcake polishes. I think prior to these that I got this year, I have maybe 3 or 4 other cupcakes. So I'll be honest, she's been a little not on my radar. But I did actually get to meet her this year briefly and spend a little bit of time talking with her. So she's super sweet. So I'll definitely be kind of keeping a little bit of a closer eye on Cupcake Polish. They've been around like forever, I think. It just, I already have so many favorites. I can only afford to have so many. So I'm trying not to add more to my major favorites list, but I I definitely do tend to sleep on the Cupcake Polish. Y'all don't sleep on her like I do, but all right, this is Garden Grace. The formula is really good. Like her polishes are really pretty and they go on very nicely. Richard said she's prone to UTIs and meds are helping. Okay, good. I'm glad that the meds are at least helping. Oh, poor honey. Thank you. 12 years married, but together for 19. That is awesome. Congratulations. That is a long time to be with one person. So Mr. Tiny Bubbles and I have been married it was 17 years this year in June. But we've been together 21. Is a long time. Doesn't feel a day over 50. Just kidding. Bless their hearts. They put up with us, right? For so long. Oh. All right, here is one coat. Oh, I can't wait to see the second coat on this one. This is going to be stunning. I love that. Oh, I can't wait for the second coat. Okay, 3 more to get our first coats on, and then we'll come back through with our seconds. So we're almost there. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit quicker tonight just because I didn't have, 30 polishes from her, but still got some good ones. I'm super excited for. You guys can tell I clearly have a type. Bet you can't guess what it is. This is Enchanted Moss. So we'll go ahead with our first coat here. I don't think I have anything fun coming up this week. Not during the week, anyways. Well, the Monsters do their bowling tryouts for the high school team. So I guess that's something. It's going to be kind of a mess of a week. Oh, you guys, look at that. I love this one. Ooh. I'm not sure what I was expecting. but I don't think it was this, but this is gorgeous. Ooh, I can't wait to see that second coat on that one too. All right, let's hurry up and move along. Richard says, I haven't tried Cupcake. They're on my list to try. Yes, I recommend trying at least one. Like, at least pick up one Cupcake Polish. Like I said, the formula is really good. So, like, on the shorts, the short that I posted here on YouTube, if you go back to my channel and look up the shorts, it was the Celebration of Life Manny. You'll see how that formula goes on. Like, I'm actually painting my nails in that short. It's sped up, of course, for time purposes, but you can see how good it goes on. If there's any question about the formula, but definitely try at least one Cupcake Polish. You will not regret it. Will not regret it. Laura says, I need that one. Oh, Enchanted Moss. Yes, Laura, I think you do. LJ says, right, and I'm in perimenopause right now, so I feel sorry for my husband. I'm so thankful that he's still putting up with me. Oh, bless his heart. Y'all are too cute together, though. Like, I couldn't, like, seeing you two together, like, you guys just fit. So it's good. Y'all are good. It's perfect. LJ says, I love her shimmers and hollows. I am quickly becoming a very big fan of her shimmers, definitely. This is Spur of the Moment. So I almost wanted to pair this one with this. But I didn't want it to be like, I wanted something noticeably different other than the flakies and the shimmer, obviously. But I was afraid the base colors would be a little too close to give me what I was looking for in this Manny. So, but I love the base color in this, where it's that kind of darker, what would you call it, maroon? I don't know if maroon is really, I don't know if maroon is the color I want to use, because it's not purple. What would you guys call this? Like a rose, a dusty rose kind of base, which is showing up. Okay, that green shimmer is everything. That's not quite the right color. I love my camera. I love my camera. Okay, that looks a little bit better when I hold it down here. Yes, that is more accurate. I feel like it was pulling orange for some reason. All right, there was one coat. Last one for one coat. And then we'll come back on our second. Okay, so we've got a bunch of glitters on the side of the bottle, as you can see, but it'll still be all right. There's plenty. I did give these all a good shake. I will say, full disclosure, full honesty, my personal opinion. The cupcake polishes that I do have, like even these, I had to give them all a really good shake on my Vortex mixer. Even just, I feel like her polishes, maybe it's because it's kind of a thinner consistency, in my opinion. They do tend to get ugly bottle syndrome, aka kind of like separating. I feel like fairly quickly, quicker than just about any other polish that I've noticed. Again, this is my opinion. There's nothing wrong with them. Like, polish separates. You know, you get the clear layer on top. One good little mix on my Vortex and mixer, and they were fine. Like, it still applied just fine when I did this Manny. Like, it just gives it that ugly bottle syndrome. But again, it's not a big deal. You shake it up a little bit and they go right back to being perfect. So even though there is a bunch stuck to the bottle, I highly doubt we're going to have any problem getting some on the swatch stick. And I should probably actually tell you the name of this one, shouldn't I? This one is Clamshell Cutie. Sorry about that. Got myself distracted with the ugly bottle talk. And again, it doesn't affect the pot. Like, you give it a good shake and it's perfectly fine again. But they did have some separation just from sitting since I got them in July. But as you can see, we still have plenty of shimmer in there. It's still applied beautifully and evenly. The base still looks wonderful. So I will deal with a little bit of ugly bottle syndrome for this kind of payoff. If I could get my camera to focus again. There it is in one coat. All right. So that was one coat of everything. We'll go ahead and swing back through again here and do our second coats. And that'll do it for us tonight. All right, so swinging back to the beginning here, this was our swag bag polish, which I think I might still have an extra one of these. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway between my Instagram and Facebook pages, and this might be included in that. So hint, hint, wink, wink. If you do not follow me on Facebook and or Instagram, head on over there. Also Tiny Bubbles 83. So I'm easy to find wherever you need to see me. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the same handle. All right, this is Summer in Chicago from the PBE swag bags. I really love the base color of this really pretty soft purple. And then, of course, we get the beautiful shimmer that I love in here, which is pretty much any kind of shimmer. I am sold. Here it is, 2 coats. So pretty. All right, next up is the one exclusive out of the trio that I picked up. This is Yes Chef. Again, you can see I clearly have a type. And I am not ashamed of it in any way, shape, or form. I will buy shimmer polishes all day, every day. If it's got shimmer, I am going to love it. Even more so if it's a blue. All right, here's 2 coats of Yes Chef. And yes, indeed, I love this. It is stunning. This is going to be going into my school color mani rotation for my Monsters band and bowling matches, shows, meets, whatever you want to call them. Because the bowling will be starting up soon too. Right now we are just getting into our marching band season, so just got our first showdown this past weekend. We have another one coming up this coming weekend, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be awesome. All right, here is Rose Soiree. Again, it is one of the colors that I'm wearing in 3 coats on my nails. I will be posting a photo of this mani on Instagram as well as the video here on YouTube. We have a new watcher, Vicious T-Rex. Hello. Happy Sunday. Thanks for popping in. I'm giggling, you guys, because that's actually my monster number 1. That be my thing number 1. And he says, yeah, that blue matches the uniform very well. I know, that's why I have like 25 blues like that. All right, here is 2 coats of Rose Soiree, and you can still see it is still a sheer base, which is why I did 3 coats on my nail. Not necessarily because I am annoyed by the visible nail line. That really doesn't bother me. I just really wanted that base color to deepen and richen up, which I think it very much did on the 3rd coat. Now, mind you, this is a clear swatch stick, so it's always going to look a little bit sheerer, but you can see the color payoff between 2 and 3 coats there. So you could use this in 1 coat as a topper, or you could keep it at the 2 coats if you don't mind visible nail line. It still looked very pretty at 2 coats. I just really wanted to get that base color deepened up. All right, moving right along. This is Retro Romance. Also, the other color I'm wearing here, 3 coats on my nail. Also would be a really good topper. I mean, throw this over anything. Whatever color you can imagine, it's going to look beautiful on. And I know my camera is picking up like just the gold, but it is in like a very light sheer pink base. There is pink to this. I think it's one of those like a pink gold green shift through the different angles. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get my camera to pick up the pink. For whatever reason, my camera does not like pink. But it is not an entirely sheer base. It is very, very ever so slightly tinted. Well, you could kind of see a little bit off to the side there. Focus, please. All right, you kind of get a little bit of it off on the edges, but that is 2 coats. All right, moving along here, another 2nd coat. This is Woodland Wonder, which has got all these beautiful blue and silver hollow glitters or microflakes. I'm not sure what you would call those. I don't understand quite what constitutes the difference between like a micro glitter and a micro flake, or I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with like size and shape. I just don't know the criteria of when it's one and when it's the other. All I know is it's really shiny and pretty and sparkly, and I like it. Which is pretty much all I need to know to buy a polish. So here it is in 2 coats. Also could probably make a really good topper. This on my nails, I would probably just keep in the 2 coats. Again, I don't mind the visible nail line. But a 3rd coat would probably get you fully covered if that sort of thing bothers you. All right, next up we have Plastic Fantastic. Get our 2nd coat on here. So I'm really missing doing these lives on Instagram. I wish YouTube would tell me who's here, so I could say hi to you guys without you having to necessarily comment for me to see you. That is the one nice thing about Instagram. Like, as soon as someone pops in, I see that, and I could be like, hey, thanks for popping on. How are you tonight? I don't know anybody who's here until you comment on YouTube, which is a little kind of sad to me because I'd like to be able to acknowledge you. All right, there is 2 coats of Plastic Fantastic. All right, here we go with Garden Grace. I really wish Instagram would change their rule back. I don't see it happening, obviously, but maybe someday I will get to their 1,000 follower minimum. I can't imagine having that many followers. That just seems crazy to me. Richard says silly Instagram rules. Exactly. I mean, I can understand having some kind of minimum, 100 followers or whatever. 50, like I think that YouTube is 50, or 100 like Facebook to be able to go live. But 1,000 just seems so very excessive. All right, here it is, 2 coats. And I am not disappointed on this second coat at all. This is gorgeous. I love it. Ooh, I cannot wait to wear this on my nails. So pretty. Laura says, oh, I forgot to tell you about my fun find this weekend. I found 5 indie polishes at our local thrift store. Nice. I think I did, I did see your post asking to find out what brand one of them was. That's so fun. All right, here is the other one that I'm excited to see that second coat on. This is Enchanted Moss. I don't think we'd ever have anything fun like that around here. But I don't get to our thrift stores around here very often. Thing one especially is too bougie for thrift store clothes. Like, he refuses to wear them. I don't know when he got a job and can buy his own clothes, but just saying. You see, he says only the clothes. Ooh, Laura. Laura. You need this. We can twin. This is gorgeous. The other stuff is kind of cool. Yeah, I know. You never know what you're going to find at a local thrift store, but Laura says, yeah, that one, tonic, and ice cream nails are 3 that are no longer in business. I've heard of tonic before, but I have not heard of the other ones. But how fun is that? LJ says, I love a good thrift store find. Laura says, I have to see if that one is on her site. It should be. It should be. Like I said, none of these were exclusive to PBE. These were all from just the first 2. But all the rest of them were just from random collections that she had brought with from her website. So I honestly don't foresee any reason why she wouldn't have any of these on her. I mean, unless they're sold out. But yeah, it should be there. All right, next up, this is Spur of the Moment. But yeah, that one is so pretty. And if you do get it, let me know. We definitely have to twin. We'll have to come up with something cutesy. But just remember, I can't do all your fancy freehand nail art like you do. Miss Acrylic Paint. Just kidding, Laura. I love you. I only tease because I'm jealous, because I can't do nail art the way you do. I have to cheat and use a stamper. All right, here is 2 coats. Gosh, this is such a cool polish. This is so unique with that base color and then that green shimmer that pops in there. This is really going to be really fun for fall manis. But I'm not ready to talk about fall yet. I refusal. Although I do have my winter jacket out already, guys. I had to bring out the winter jacket already. Laura says mushrooms and mossy trees. That would work. Definitely the mossy tree part. All right, last one here, guys. This is Clamshell Cutie. And honestly, this one probably wouldn't even, like on your nails, you probably wouldn't even need a second coat. But for scientific purposes, we're going to go ahead and do 2 coats anyways. My brain just will not allow me to stop at 1 coat on most things. This one is so much fun. I love the shimmers. Love the shimmers. All right, here she is in all her 2-coat glory. Oh, I have a little air bubble in there. That is my error, not the polish. Operator error. Ignore that. So pretty. All right, y'all. That was it for me for tonight. I'm kind of trying to alternate between like shorter and longer lives because I do still have a few makers left that is going to be a long night, y'all. Because I got a lot of polish from them this year. So I'm trying to kind of go back and forth between a really long one and then a more normal length like this where I didn't buy quite as much. But we're cruising right along with our PBE stuff. So, yeah, shortly coming up, I'm going to have a special live because I do need to swatch the Victorian Varnish Speakeasy Spirit Advent that I got, and I am so over the moon over. But so I'm waiting for the go ahead for spoilers and whatnot, because I believe it was supposed to, like, opening was supposed to happen or start like October 1st or something. Y'all, there was no way that box was sitting here unopened until October 1st. I tore into that box like a drunk T-Rex. It was a sight to see, but oh my God, it was so much fun, and the polishes are stunning. I cannot wait to show you guys. But next week, I'm not sure who I'm going to come back with next week, so I'll figure that out at some point in the middle of the week and let y'all know. Other than that, thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate you spending some of your Sunday with me. I hope you guys all have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Take care, y'all.